This is the Aldora Devlog. Let us begin. Okay, so when we actually last left off before I got ill, still a little bit under the weather, however, let's just jump into this and I can actually show you exactly what I have been up to. We'll jump into the game and we can then run around. There is a reason why the character has no shirt now. It's because I'm playing around with something, but I want to show a couple of different types of things. I've animated all of the sprites. Now, I haven't animated their blueprints, so they won't like stand still and do idle when they're actually thing. However, all of those animations are now done. So we've got the deers moving, we've got the bears moving, we've got everything else in between with that. And if we actually run around, because we're going to make our way over towards Erundir anyway, we can actually show you all the other different types of sprites that we've got. We've got the horses. So if you just saw that, the horse just went round the back of the house. He's walking around doing his thing. And then we also have the Iari. The Iari are running around doing their little thing with their little hands and everything. I even animated their hair to actually be a little bit more on fire, especially when it comes towards the Earth Iari as well. So if we jump all the way over to here, we can see that the Earth Iari are just walking around doing their thing. They also have their base idol. Everything that is walking around has their base idle as well as their basic walking mechanics. The only different types of additional animations that are needed for all of these mobs that are made up in the game now are the death and attack animations. So say you kill one, you've got to play an animation for that, and everything else with all of that, especially if you're trying to attack something. Now I've got to code that with the AI, especially when they are hurt or damaged. So when they actually do potentially die, I've got to get them to actually do what I want them to do. And especially when it comes towards the bears are currently walking around doing their thing as well, and that is working quite nicely. There's a whole different types of areas, so if you run too far, these bears won't chase you into the city. So there is boundaries when it comes towards their walking mechanics. But if we go in towards the city, there's one thing that I want to talk about, and it's right over here. I also did something to do with professions. Now if you see professions, look, John's made signs. Yes, I did. I did a 3D sign with 2D sprites, and then you can actually clearly see what profession area you're in. Obviously an anvil is quite widely known as one for blacksmithing. So you go all the way over towards here and you press B to open your bag. It'll open up the profession tab for you. Now at the moment, the basic showcasing of this, there's nothing automatically shown. However, if we click on the copper sword, it will tell you copper sword, creates copper sword. This is where I want all the description of the item, so such as the stats for said item, and then we can go from there. However, it will say what actually is needed to craft it. So like iron sword will need 16 iron ore, 6 wood. Copper sword is 6 copper ore and 2 wood. That coincides with the quests. So these are all the quest crafts. And the iron chest plate, you need 5 bear leather and 16 iron ore. So if we jump all the way over to here, we can actually close this down quickly. I'll just use my little cheat key to give me the copper ore and the wood. I do need to fix these in the icons. However, if we go towards copper sword, I can press that and it will remove the required amount and give me a copper sword. As I've had to tinker with the inventory system, the tooltips are not working at this moment in time. However, I want to fix that after I've finished tinkering with the inventory system for crafting. Now if we head all the way over towards this area over here in the city as well, with all of these guys just walking around doing their thing, we also have the tailor. So remember, the crafts at the moment are just for the quest. These are the base crafts, and then you've got the worn cloth trousers. Not everything is created for this, but it would cost you 10 worn cloth to make your worn cloth trousers, walk over towards your leather worker, and if you're over here you can then just go to bare leather shoulders, and it will cost you 10 bare leather to make your shoulder plaids for that. There is other particular ones, so we'll have to jump over towards the port of Marith, and as we jump over towards the port of Marith we can actually have a look at the lovely carpenter area. So all you have to do is just go into the base area, press B like you're just opening your bag, and then it will open up your particular crafting. So as long as you're in that particular area where the sign is, then you can then do your crafting. So you can make a fishing rod with 3 wood, and then it will actually produce it. Now, I haven't actually set up the crafting elements for this yet, so if I went to craft this, it won't do anything, and it will just remove the wood at this moment in time, because it will give you that fishing rod after I've added that to the data table for everything else. Seems to be working quite nicely, and if we jump out I can actually show you what type of professions we actually have. We need to go into the profession system, and I can tell you that we're going to have blacksmithing, tailoring, leatherworking, alchemy, carpenter, builder and cooking. These ones are the base crafting professions, and that's what will appear in your bags when you're in that particular area. So if you see a sign for blacksmith, you're at a blacksmithing area, just start crafting. It was easier than to do it this way, so then you know exactly what profession you're going to be using, and then you can take keynotes for that. It also coincides with the actual quests as well, so it works out quite nicely for that. So wherever those base signs are for the demo, that's where the quests will be as well for your crafting. So you don't need to go anywhere else, it's all situated in there. You just need to gather up your resources in order to do it. If we have a look at everything else, we can see that if I go into towards my professions folder, I can go into my user interface, and overall layout is right there. What I need to do is just change this text box in towards a scroll box, which will fill with all of the stats that actually go for this particular character, and then the information that's required for that craft, because not every craft will have stats like a fishing rod or anything to that effect. A fishing rod's used for fishing. And then when we've actually got that, that means that you can do like your other stuff like that. Now I don't want to jump into gathering just for a second, because gathering professions are there, the materials are there as well. That will come with the looting system, which I've actually done a base combat system as well. So I redid the combat system as well as everything else, and now every monster on here, so if you jump over towards a bear, you can take it out, you can kill it with any of your abilities and any of your swing attacks, and that creature will actually disappear. I actually made it into a component so I can just drag, drop, put it on, and everything else. What I really want to do at this moment in time is not focus on the gathering professions, because that's fishing, herbalism, logging and also mining. Those ones will come at a later date. I want to get the base crafting done, because there's a few little things that need to be resolved with that, especially when it comes towards mining ore and everything to that effect. So that being said, that is pretty much everything I have to talk about for today. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.